I'm Kevin Ackland, a Company Director at Locker & Riley. I just wanted to give you a quick insight in why I think you should take your apprenticeship at Locker & Riley. We specialise in modern and historic restoration of plasterwork. Fibrous plastering is such a diverse trade. It gives you opportunities to use wood, metal, there's a design element to it. It gives you a great grounding for your future life. The company was formed in 1992 and I've been working here for 30 years. So during the early years, all we made was we had a standard range. It was produced from a catalogue, predominantly sold to the retail market. It was relatively cheap to produce because it was all from standard moulds. So there was nothing too intricate, and as I say, we could keep the product relatively cheap. As time moved on, we went from the standard product to more intricate things, basic match of existing, restoration, and some general bespoke items. And then moving into today, we're working in some of the most prestigious properties that are around, royal palaces, really high-end public buildings, and the rich and famous and the highly wealthy. So the process, it normally starts from a design intent. The design intent is a set of information that the professional team has gone through an approval process with the client. Once that's generated, those details come to us for pricing and to start our process. So once we receive the design brief, I should call it, we start our design process. That could be two-dimensional drawings, surveys, three-dimensional drawings if we're looking at intricate things like spiral staircases. We could do renders, so that's hand-drawn renders, which actually will bring all of the drawings to life, and it will show the client not just a two-dimensional picture of what they're going to get, but a three-dimensional image, but it's done hand-drawn, which is really a traditional method. And it's a good way to actually show what we're going to do. Moving on from there, we go into origination. This could be with clay sculpting, where we take just raw clay and sculpt it into possibly a leaf, a flower, a vine, anything really that is what I would class as free flowing. Alternatively, we use harder materials when we're doing anything regimented, that precision is needed. That's generated, and then we can sand that back to really make it very, very sharp. The next process is the moulds. The moulds are a very, very important part to the whole process because they are the reverse of actually what we're going to produce. So that can be made in silicon rubber, or it can be fiberglass, all depending on how intricate the actual design is, or if it's plain, or how many casts we need to do, quantities, etc, etc. So once the moulds are produced, we then go into the production, and the production is the elements that actually will be leaving our workshops and going out to site to be installed. We use there's various methods, traditional methods and modern methods. depending on what circumstances are on site. So the last part of the process is the installation. This is quite a critical part because obviously the elements that we install have got to remain in place for at least 100 years. I mean, that's really what we believe we are looking to achieve. We have to consider suspension, backgrounds, interfacing with modern services, air conditioning, lighting, speakers, anything that really is in a modern format. Fibrous plastering is a traditional trade. We work with heritage, so heritage is here to stay. I mean, it's a conservation and it's a conservation of our buildings, so it is here to stay. So, 30 years in the industry. A path that's taken me through all aspects of the business, design, production, installation, management and directorship. Each process as important as each other. It's such a diverse trade, and even after all this time I still walk onto a project and it makes the hairs on my neck stand on end. I'm so proud of what we achieve, the craftsmanship and the quality that gets generated. It's just unbelievable. Starting with really just water and powder, we make these beautiful things that, as I say, just gives you immense satisfaction. Fibrous Plaster is a wonderful industry, and by taking your apprenticeship with Locker & Riley could be the first steps on this amazing journey as I did some 30 years ago.